All right, guys. As we said, we knew these guys were going to play in the grand finals anyway. That's right. They're back again. Another best of 5. REYNOR, of course, lost the upper bracket finals. He's coming from the lower bracket. So if he wins this best of 5, he will activate a final best of 3 he'll have to win to beat CLEM. CLEM only needs to win this best of 5. So CLEM comes in with the advantage. And yeah, bam. Cool to see this kind of follow on from yesterday's series. Pretty good series yesterday. I feel like REYNOR had some good moments, but he just kind of let CLEM smother him a little bit too much in the kind of early and mid game. Got a bit too far behind. Barracks Gas. Very standard. It's Ruby Rock to start. REYNOR in the top left. Is this a Terran map, guys? I really don't know. I know it's got some good push paths, but it doesn't feel like it's that bad for Zerg. Maybe it's just the short distance. These ledges really good for siege tanks and the like. The bases also get quite spread, so it can be hard to defend 5 bases, I guess. I'm not sure who picks this map. I'm not really up to date on who's picking which map at pro level on the new map pool. We'll see how we go. Command center starts up. Reaper's on the way. Second depot coming in. Now, there is going to be a drone going out early to try and take the third. He's going to go for the straight line third, which I do enjoy. I do love me a straight line third base. On this map, though, I might actually go for the other one, just to try and get the creep through this area earlier. But if he takes this third, REYNOR, I think, likes this fourth base, actually, doesn't he? We cast a game of him the other week where he took this fourth. It got sniped early, and then the whole game went to crap against CLEM. So I think if he goes for this fourth, he really needs to, like, focus on getting his creep down there. It's a lot of room to cover. And it's not that hard for CLEM to push into either, to be fair, from this third. I think push paths in general pretty accessible here on Ruby Rock. Oh my gosh, going in there is actual insanity. But CLEM knows no fear. Knew he could take a couple of queen volleys without dying. I think speed's coming in about 245, maybe that started. Third queen starts up here. A couple more drones coming in as well. You can tell REYNOR, I think, is very respectful of the threat of the second gas, but CLEM's been going back to 3cc openings. He hasn't been playing as much double gas. I'd actually like to see REYNOR try and get away with delaying his ling speed a bit more. See if he can get away with that greed. I don't think this is like a terrible opening for him or anything. It's just like a thing where he probably doesn't need his ling speed quite so early with how delayed these Hellions are. They're not going to pop till after about, what, almost 3:30 when these Hellions pop out. Does look like the Banshee follow-up. Second gas on the natural. So you guys know the build from here. He'll go second and third barracks, then third and fourth gas, then double eBay. Same order every time. After that, you add the fourth and fifth barracks. The armory, second factory, fourth command center, and then the 3 extra barracks. Assuming you're doing a macro build, that is. Obviously, 8 racks, not very popular for CLEM recently. Hellion Reaper rotating. Raven? Oh my. Okay, guys, Raven. A lot of people always ask, why don't people just use Raven to clear creep tumors for free rather than scanning all the time? It saves you so much minerals. So here's the problem, guys. Queens beat Hellions. And Ravens are slow, which means if you're waiting for the Raven, you don't have the ability to outposition the Queens. So the Raven, it's kind of slow. It removes your mobility. It's such a low threat unit. Zerg, if they realize you've gone Raven, like if he sees the Raven early, he doesn't need to build Spores or Overseer. He can drone crazy hard and shut the Raven down pretty hard. The Raven's very useful once you have like Marines and tanks slow pushing, but it just doesn't mesh very well with the Terran army when it's like a fast-paced roaming style like CLEM normally plays. So Raven comes in, he's going to go for an auto turret to start off, doesn't even focus the drones, gets shut down. So that doesn't really achieve anything. Denies maybe a creep tumor up there, not quite sure. Double eBay does go down behind. Third and fourth gas coming down as well. He didn't go cloak, so I think he actually could have gone double eBay before third and fourth gas. Because cloaked Banshee is a much bigger gas investment. It's, I think, 150 for cloak, and or is it 125, 125? Whatever it is, it's that plus the 200 for the 2 Banshees, as opposed to only 150 for 1 Raven. Raven Alien comes in, doesn't end up dropping the auto turret. And you can see the Alien Raven can just get bullied away from the creep tumors a fair amount of the time. So over time, technically, the Raven can give you good efficiency, but it's pretty hard to keep it alive. You can see even there, it takes a hit. Pretty fragile unit, and it goes down! Oh man, I thought Clem would do a better job of keeping that alive, but that's what happens every time I do Raven build, and I'm always like, I know technically I shouldn't lose this, but like, it always happens, man. Oh my god, the Lings are pouncing. 9 SCVs exposed! He splits a few Lings there, the rest are gonna run into that natural. Oh, he's gonna get around! He's gonna get around! Oh my lord, REYNOR. Into the natural, into the third. He should split another Ling off there. He's going to for the Widowmine. These SCVs are getting mauled. Already 10 SCVs have gone down. So much damage. Oh my gosh, he needs these Hellions to defend. Even the Widowmine's starting to fall there as well. So many SCVs. It's a slaughterhouse. The Hellions do pull to the choke point. Very nicely done there. The Ling's trying to split up their fire. Does he get the Fresh Mule? Not quite. The Fresh Mule barely survives. But 17 workers have gone down. REYNOR once again goes for that bottom left side base. He's got the infestation pit there as well. And I think Clem is just shaking his head. Putain! Ah, sacre bleu! You know, standard things that I'm sure Clem actually says every time he's mad. And he's like, this is why we don't beat this stupid Raven! Idiot Twitch chat. Yeah, that's exactly how Clem sounds, guys. 100%. Hive is on the way. A couple of infestors are coming out. 67 workers to 52. Nice advantage for REYNOR, who's now got creep spreading kind of north of this base. And oh, Clem, he's in trubs. These Lings, there's so many of them, he can just split them up, come from multiple sides. No escape for these Hellions, man. Right? Didn't think he'd escape. Turns out these Hellions were greased up. Honestly, the Lings can fight the Marines as well. That's kind of funny. The Marines come to save the day. They get overwhelmed as well. REYNOR's just clicking with his ding-dong right now. Did chase a bit too far towards the tail end of that fight, but he's got so many Lings out. How many gases? He's on 5 gas. His +2 carapace is ahead of the +2 weapons of Clem as well, most notably. Widowmine drop's going to come to try and slow him down. There's 3 queens there, which is already going to make this quite hard to do damage. Like, he's not going to be able to just pick up for free without taking big damage on the medevacs. Gonna try and do some burrow on burrow micro. Clem being an ultimate tryhard as per usual. Oh! REYNOR builds a Spore Crawler to block it! Hive's finished. Ultra Cavern goes down. Adrenal Gland starts. Dude. REYNOR, his work account, his army count's a bit low. And Blue Flame is coming in. Oh, he's gonna try and do a Hellbat Marine push before Ultras are out. I think Clem may have taken too much damage. He's thinking about a 2-2 Blue Flame Marine Hellbat push. But if Ultras come out, he's gonna have nothing to deal with those Ultras. But it's amazing against Zerglings, this style. Fungal will not deal with Hellbats. You need Banelings or Ultras to deal with that. Obviously, Roaches or Hydras would work as well. He doesn't have access to any of that just yet. I do think this is a brilliant choice for Clem if he was not so far behind from the early damaged. Festerling is there. Here we go, Marine Hellbat coming in. Oh, the Ultras aren't out yet. REYNOR just gives up the base. Wise choice. Go back to 4 base, but honestly, if Clem can push north and get another base before he's ready... Dude, where's REYNOR's Ultras? He hasn't started Ultras yet. He's not started Ultras. He's going to counter, which is the correct call, but there's Blue Flame Hellbats there and Marines. Okay, actually, Blue Flame's not quite done just yet. Ling's going to do crazy damage. Marines inside the main doing really good damage, though. Oh my god, the Hellbats are toasting! Oh no! No! Oh no! And he's only just started his 3 Ultras. He needed to start that much earlier, man. Fungal's doing pretty good damage, but he's overlapping the Fungals maybe a bit more than he should have. A lot of the Marines go down. Oh no, REYNOR's lead is evaporating. The Ultras needed to start instantly. If those Ultras were out, he could have defended his 4 base and been fine, but he wasn't able to. He took damage in the main. His counterattack didn't do much, and he's lost his 5th and his 4th. Clem may be back in this game. That being said, remember, he doesn't have an answer to Ultra Tech. This Ultra pops out. The Marines and Hellbats are like, oh god! Oh god, our weapons are just bouncing off his armor, man. And that's without Chitinous Blading being done. When Chitinous is done, he'll be even stronger. The thing is, now there's Libs out, and you've killed all the Queens. If he just pushes with Bio, Hellbat, Lib, oh my lord. And that's why, yeah, REYNOR realizes the weakness. He's going to build a Spire, 4th base. I think he should maybe think about expanding up north. Because he should probably expand to both sides of this hatchery. That's like his most important hatch right now. But look at this, a Lib comes in as well. Okay, Queens are ready. Queens can deal with that. He's got to move the Queens out of the Lib zone, though. Otherwise, the Lib will win this fight. He's going to take out at least one of these. Oh, is he focusing the Ultras? Queen did take some hits. Oh my god, this Queen barely gets out of the Lib zone. Both Queens surviving is actually wild. That's huge. Hellbat, though. Hellbat in the choke point. That's a nasty boy, that is. Oh my god, Clem trying to do some fancy Blue Flame. Hellbat micro. Lib on the left side as well. It's getting some work kills. Spore's going to have to move over. Dude, if Clem wins this game, this is a ridiculous, ridiculous comeback. If that's the case, I guess Reynor's a... What are they called? Boggarts in Harry Potter, right? Man, they have some dumb names, the monsters in Harry Potter, don't they? Clem is casting ridiculous on him for sure, though. Who the hell comes back with a Hellbat Marine timing? Just before those Ultras hit the field. +3 Carapace has started, but 3-3's ahead for Clem. Clem, does he have his barracks up? He's just now building a 6th and 7th barracks because he needs Marauders. His army's a bit scuffed. I think maybe he could have pushed. I think he should have already pushed. Like I said, if he actually went for like a 4 Lib push, there was nothing that shoots up. He could have just gone for Medevac Marine and Lib and just basically dropped and unloaded while sieging the Libs. As long as he focused the Spores down, I think he maybe could have killed Reynor. But now Reynor's Spire's done, his Bane Nest's coming in, he's building a few more drones. Reynor really needs to build those Corruptors, though. Like, every second that goes by without Corruptors building just allows Clem the chance of getting a really good push. And it feels like Reynor's kind of letting his guard down. Finally, a few Corruptors start up. This is a good Ling run by. He needs to buy time. If Reynor can get, like, 7-8 Corruptors out and 20 Banelings, his army suddenly becomes amazing. And Clem's still stuck in the mid-game, trying to take a 4th. Only 58 workers. Remember, Clem was miles behind in this early game. So even though he did a really good timing, I think he took a bit too long afterwards to capitalize on that massive dearth of Zerg anti. Lings are going to run in on this side as well, and Clem leaving himself wide open. Oh, you could tell he's just not as maneuverable as he normally is. The Hellbats roast those Zerglings, trying to retreat on the 4th. These Marines do come back. 18 SCVs going down. Banes are morphing. 6 Corruptors are out. Bane speed's almost finished, and I think where he scans that army and you know he feels his heart sink. If you can get, like, the Ultra Bane is just going to cleave through the Hellbats so easily. 44 Marines, not that effective against these Ultras, but he's got +3 weapons. There's no +3 Carapace just yet. Lib's trying to come forwards. The Libs are very far in front of the army. Corruptors coming and getting themselves a couple of volleys off, taking out a Lib before the fight even starts. Very well done. Oh, he's going to go for it. Big Ling counter on the 3rd at the same time. And actually, he's not going to commit. Just committing to the Ling counters. Reynor being very patient. He wants to make sure he takes the perfect engagement. I think it's a good choice. If he can catch this army in the middle, though, I honestly think his army should smash it. He's got Fungal, Ultra Bane. The Zerglings are going to get wrecked by the Hellbats, but of course the Hellbats will get wrecked by the Ultras and Banelings. Lings from the right side on top of the Marauders. The Banelings actually didn't go into the Hellbats. The Banelings kind of did nothing there. Bad fight for Reynor, man. I think the Banelings should have been on the Hellbats. That was a big mistake. He's only got 1 Infestor left with 2 Fungals. He does have 3 Ultras, but that was a bit of a messy fight. I was kind of shocked at the way he took that. Army supply for Clem is out of this world. A few Lings kind of continue to do these run-bys. Oh, and the Lib harassment. Oh, the Spore Crawler. 40 worker advantage for Reynor, but his army is behind it. He lost one of his crucial bases. He needs to take this top base as well. If he could build that top base, that's big, but he's also lost a lot of gas mining. These 2 gases were crucial. He's got to retake bases right now. He's looking for drops on the south side, but he's got to, like, reset, respread creep. And if he can split his army into 2 halves, like Corruptors, Ling, Bane, Ultra in 2, and sandwich the enemy. But this is something we've seen from Reynor is his Ultra, Ling, Bane, Corruptor engagements. Think of that Mothership game about a week or so ago where he kept crashing into Clem's units from one angle. And I really felt if he came in from 2 sides, he could have sandwiched him really nice. Good hatchery cancel there for Clem. Reynor struggling economically against a 41 worker Terran. That's not a sentence you often say. 70 workers against 40, but his economy is not ahead. This is actually, like, really awkward for him. I mean, of course, Clem doesn't have late game. He's only on 4 orbitals. So it's not like Clem has endless money, but his army is definitely bigger. He's got 11 Hellbats. Now remember, Hellbats don't one-shot Zerglings anymore. Current balance of the game, even with +3 and Blue Flame, which they don't even have +3. But even if they did have that, they would still leave the Zerglings alive with, I think, 1 hit point. Mule, good unit. I mean, it's partially mules. It's partially the fact that what's REYNOR mining from? 2 half bases, 1 full base. He just doesn't have access to many minerals. Oh my god, he boosts past the Corruptors. Ultraling Bane needs to pull back. I don't think that ramps the place for Zerg to be fighting. Does unload some units in the main. The Lings will clean this up, as will the Corruptors. Oh, he's going to land a massive fungal! Massive fungal! CLEM moves down the ramp into an Omega fungal. I'm sorry, guys. I just assumed REYNOR was going to back away from this while cleaning up the drop. I did not, for the life of me, think he was going to stand and fight. Of course, CLEM continues to push in despite having a far inferior army. Good job on microing back those weak Ultras. Marauder's not so good against Zerglings, much better against Ultras, which is why he's letting the Lings go in first. You can see CLEM, he's going to focus down 1 Ultra before he picks up to leave. He's going to try and pull back. Where's his reinforce? He's got a few Hellbats in there. He needs those Hellbats to clear those Zerglings. Liberator and the Marauder will deal with the Ultras if given enough time. Does raise his depot wall. 4th base down south is in trouble. A few SCVs going down. REYNOR. Corruptors on top of the Medivacs doing massive damage. These Medivacs are already getting low on juice. He does have a massive count of them, but the Corruptors are adding really nice damage. The Ultras, though, the Ultras are getting kind of dealt with. Lings are on this mineral line. A few SCVs do fall. Is REYNOR overcommitting? Does feel like his Corruptor damage might be worthwhile, but he's going to have to back away now. He's got to back away. Don't throw your Corruptors away. These are very valuable units. Remember, REYNOR's income is still dangerously close to CLEM's in this game, but throughout this, he's reestablished this northern base. He does have this base still alive in the low ground middle, though I abhor this base. I don't just dislike, I abhor. For those who don't know, if you abhor something, guys, it's where you hate something so much for being such a filthy horror that your abs get a workout from your hatred. Yes, that's absolutely what abhor means. Now I'm actually wondering what the actual origins of that word is. Anyways, Corruptors are going to go for a PP assault. Oh, nice PP assault. Hellbat drop on the bottom side. Counter thrust through the middle. CLEM says the best defense is a good offense. Link Queen will defend the low ground base. Planetary trying to repair over there. You can see its hit points in the bottom right. We try to catch it as go downs. Hatchery gets abandoned. Planetary does go down to the Corruptor P. Massive fungal, but does he have enough units to capitalize? Big fungals, but he doesn't have enough Ultras to actually overwhelm here. Dude, he's only got 2 Ultras and 70 Zerglings. These Hellbats are a real menace right now. Link counter does do big damage as well. Right now, CLEM's economy is down in the dumps. REYNOR's going to gather his forces and group up. REYNOR only lost 1 hatchery there for a planetary. That's a good trade for him. Removing this fresh mineral line, or relatively fresh, I think is absolutely huge. But REYNOR needs to be careful. He can't throw his Zerglings into the Hellbats. On this army, though, oh, this is a big overextension. Big overextension. If the Corruptors come in, it's going to be big. The Corruptors are making their way back, but he's not able to land a fungal. REYNOR has to give up this poo-poo base. And we'll see exactly what can happen. 3 drops are going to move north. Yeah, you guys should absolutely listen to me when it comes to the etymology of words. I am always correct on those. Hellbat Marine Marauder. I'm going to go for a triple. If he snipes this hatchery again, REYNOR's really struggling to get a new base up. He's got to abandon this bad boy, right? But, I mean, maybe he feels because that base is next to his other most important base, it's worth it. He's got Ling Corruptor up north, which if he jumps on this army, there's only 1 Hellbat. 3 Adrenal Zerglings beat those guys hardcore. And there's only 9 Medivacs left. Remember, every fight that goes on, the Medivac count gets lower. He can barely afford to replace them. CLEM's on 25 workers. CLEM's army is still bigger than REYNOR's, but REYNOR now has a lot more money, especially because he's got gas coming in, which CLEM does not. Lings and Corruptors chasing. Okay, he's going to get at least 1 Medivac. Dude, a lot of bio going down. These Lings are very cheap. He doesn't mind taking a few. Now, those 2 Hellbats in the back might turn this. No, they're not able to. No, it doesn't quite have the density. Ultra Infestor runs in, he fungals, gets 13, 15 SCVs, and then quickly runs away. Brilliant move here for REYNOR, who's still got that big income lead we were talking about, and I think that should be able to seal the deal for him. Infestor's in the open. Got an Infestor in the open. The Marauders should have stemmed there to take care of him. Ooh. Like some Lings did get taken down. Corruptors are rejoining the main army. Corruptors are going to join the main. He's got Lings up north. Should be able to defend this. And CLEM, a desperate last-ditch push, runs into Corruptor Infestor Fungal. And that should spell disaster for the Terran, as another Fungal catches the vast majority of that army. He has to try to defend those units, but he's not able to. The Fungals just keep on coming, and they keep on coming. And that's going to be a GG for CLEM. His last unit's getting overrun. His counter drop gets dealt with. The 2 Hellbats not enough to take care of this. And CLEM is going to tap out. GG, well played. REYNOR takes game 1 in the grand finals. Alright. Alright, guys. Basilisk, Raynor, bottom left side, Clem in the top right. Glad to do an impromptu couple of extra casts today after Big Gabe dropped me these replays, guys. Really excited and cool to see what's going on. If we do get the extra series, of course, we'll try to put these all up as separate videos. I think it's still going to be hard for Clem, but wait, Old Republic? Guys, why did he not veto Old Republic? Is Clem drunk? This map is clearly a Zerg map. It's amazing for Mutalisk because it's so big. There's so much ground to cover with a bio army. And I can't imagine. I mean, okay, let's think about this. You know Reynor's going to play Mutas off of 3 base. I mean, his 4th base is going to be spread out down here or down here. This base sucks, by the way. You should never take this base until much later. Especially if you play Mutalisks. The biggest mistake I've seen on this map is Zergs playing Mutas with this as their 4th. It's so easy for them to parade through the middle. Whereas if they push through the middle and then they have to go up these ramps to get in your bases, much better to take a 4th here. I actually like the 5th on the left side as well. I think expanding down the edges of the map, really good. I think Clem's best option is probably 3 command center into a 2-1-1. And try to get across the map early, but really just anticipate the Mutalisks and pressure with Marines and Widow Mines afterwards and see what you can get done. But I think it's just going to be hard to cross the map without Raynor running circles around him. Then again, could do a double gas build and just get really aggressive early on. Hope that Reynor's going into Mutas too greedy. Hit him with a Hellbat timing or something maybe even. Okay, Reaper's there. Queens are building 4 more Zerglings as well. So he's going to block the 3rd. He goes to the factory, the moment of truth. There's no second gas, guys. He's going to play 3 command center. I'm hoping it's a 2-1-1 for Clem's sake. Raynor goes for a quick ling speed here. He's letting his 3rd get blocked. He's also still mining with 2 workers on gas. He might be thinking of rushing that lair for like 2.5 base Mutalisk. I think he wants a 3rd queen almost instantly. Interestingly, he starts the 3rd queen in the main. Okay, so I think he's going to walk his queen down. Okay, now he starts a 4th queen. He's going to go 4 queen before Overlord. 4 queen Overlord drone. Okay. Queen, of course, has to guard the ledge there. Reaper jumps in pretty deep. And this queen probably goes walkabout now to the 3rd base. He's not going to risk it just yet. Maybe he wants to go creep tumor first. Interesting. Ling's trying to push back the Reaper. Just get pushed away. Dude, it feels like this 3rd is just going to be so late. Yes, the lair's coming in now. I don't know if I like this build for Raynor, guys. I just think get the 3rd up. Don't let it get blocked, because I think take the 3rd earlier and just play 3 base is so much smoother on this map. It is a 3cc 2-1-1. Yeah, this is entirely predictable for Clem, though. Ooh, Lings do deal with the Reaper. I just don't think 2-base Muta matches up that well against 3cc 2-1. I think 3 hatchery Muta, you know, you get Mutas a little bit earlier, but you got plenty of Queen Zerglings, probably better. We'll see how it times out. I just think we're going to have Mutas popping out as the Marines are hitting with the Medivacs, and they're going to be forced to defend, which, if you have enough Lings to overwhelm and surround, sometimes can work. I mean, it's such a big map, the Medivacs can't really boost home. I just don't think you're going to be able to fly the Mutas across the map to do damage. And I mean, it's not a surprise you're going Mutas either. Clem's seen a delayed 3rd. In Clem's mind, like, he should know exactly what's happening, so I don't think Mutalisks are ever a surprise in this game. Spires on the way as well. Oh my gosh, he's going to do the Hellbat timing. Oh, he's just going to look for the free win. Yeah, this is clever. Like I said, you know he's going to go... I was thinking 3cc 2-1-1, but then I thought it would still be awkward after that for Terran on such a big map. Clem says, yeah, what if I just kill him with Hellbats as well, though? Oh, Raynor's actually scouting. I've never seen Raynor scout before. Oh my gosh. When was the last time we saw Raynor Overseer scout? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, he sees the armory. I know I'm hamming it up a little bit, but not that much. He's so famous for just not bothering an Overseer Scout. This is so clutch, because now he builds a Bane Nest, makes a Spine. He's still only got 5 queens, though. I don't know if he can react in time. I think his Lings need to wrap around, maybe go for the counterattack. He sends them a bit late. He needs them to be going in right now. If he was going in right now, this would be much more urgent. He could maybe give up the 3rd base. This is Stim Marines and Hellbats really hard for him to deal with. Baneling Nest isn't ready. Spine's not quite ready. Still 10, 12 seconds away. I think REYNOR not sending his Lings in a bit too slow in the response. The Spine goes down. Oh no. And he lets the wall off get up. REYNOR missing an opportunity here, but 2 Hellbats are down, 3rd Hellbat very low, 4th Hellbat's almost gone, but 2 more Hellbats arrive just in the nick of time. The medevac does go down. Queens might be able to hold this off now. The drones, though, very vulnerable. Oh, the Lings not getting in is tragic. Clem's pants were down around his ankles. That Overseer Scout should have set him up for success, but REYNOR a bit too slow to take advantage of that. He's trying to stop these units from getting home, but Clem's micro pretty slick here. He's going to make REYNOR pay a hefty price to deal with all those Marines and Hellbats. At the end of the day, 500 resource lost advantage, worker advantage, stim shields 1-1 all in the way. The first Mutalisks are just starting, and I think REYNOR has made a misstep by just taking a bit too long to send the Lings across. But more importantly, I think he should have secured the 3rd base. I think you should treat this map like Winter Madness. There's only 1/3 you can take, and Terrans love to block if you only have 1/3. I think similar to what he was doing in the previous set in Winter Madness, you need to send a drone here and take this before your Overlord. And that just makes your opening so good. Because I think playing against a standard 3-hatch build that's also safely teching towards Mutas is such a conundrum for Terran to deal with. I think for this map, you want to swap your whole mindset from a Zerg who's normally looking to cut a corner here or there to be competitive with Clem, to say, I'm on a map where I'm already not just competitive, but favored. Especially if you're the best Muta player in the world. REYNOR is the best Mutaling player in the world. Sorry, Serral fans. But no, Piggy's not Serral's band. He's not. Sorry, guys. I don't want to hate on you. Serral's very good with Mutaling Bane. REYNOR's better. You give REYNOR Mutaling Bane Chaos. I think he's just a bit better at the multitasking and the tactical finesse than Serral. On a big map like this, he could definitely get his way back into it, but he's going to be dealing with a big upgrade differential. 1-1's going to start for him just before 1-1 finishes for Terran. Problem is that worker count, only 64 workers. He's trying to take 6 gases. You know, I wonder what someone was saying earlier, right? There was a game in the previous series where REYNOR was behind against Clem, and they were like, and he had no creep spread, and they're like, shouldn't he not make Banelings? Because you're never going to be efficient with Banelings against Clem. And like, if you're behind, shouldn't you swap into Infestors? And I was pointing out it's near impossible to swap a Mutaling Bane into Infestors. But in this game, I actually feel like if he stayed 4 gas, just built 1 round of Mutas, and then just went straight to Infestor Zerg, I mean, could he have played that? I mean, he's so far behind on upgrades. I don't think it's really viable. I don't think it's viable. Oh, the Widowmine's getting shots as well. He's going to have to try and roll some Ling Bane in, but look at this. Turret, bunker, Widowmine. The rally point's really solid. It's a big Marine push. A bunch of Widowmines with it. Only 2 for now, but he's got Thors. Extra barracks, more Widowmines coming across. Drilling Claws has not been made just yet. Mutas will find the 4th SCV on that command center. Is he going to go for it? He's going to go for the command center. Ling Bane trying to stall out the advance. Good engagement here for REYNOR just to slow down the advance. Didn't set off any of the Widowmines though. That's what's unfortunate. Takes out another SCV building the 4th command center. He had 2 more on standby waiting to replace it. Good move. Clem realizes how important that 4th CC is and does keep it alive. Now REYNOR's taking this base. You guys know my thoughts on this base being garbage. Even though, yes, it's easier to connect with creep, it's just, it sets up the Terran to have such a nice frontal push path. I like that turnaround. If that medevac chased into the dead space, he might have been able to get it. Hydra Den. Okay, so REYNOR's going to go, I guess, Hydra, like, Hydra's, but I mean, I know that's for dealing with Widow Mines, but I don't think that's good, is it? Because he's still going flyer attacks. Now he's swapping into range carapace. He's actually going to commit to Hydra upgrades. Wow, REYNOR. I mean, against what he knows is going to be a Marauder Mine Thor army, he feels like if he can just have 20 Hydras up front, it's going to be much harder for Clem to push in. And that's absolutely correct. This is a really clever transition for REYNOR. I kind of love the decision. I don't know if he'll have the money to make it work. Oh my god, I can't believe that extra shot got off. That Thor, man. 5 meters have gone down this game. Units lost tab. 800 in favor of Clem. He's trying to go Lurker Den as well. I don't know, man. Groove Spines has not been clicked, and you really need Groove Spines. Otherwise, you can't even outrange Widow Mines. I think that should have been his first upgrade. But he might just forget it. There's so many things Reynor has to manage at once right now. It's going to be tough. Clem only on 67 workers, though. Clem's playing a much lower economy than I thought. He's trying to really commit to this sort of moment in the game where he's pushing and keeping Reynor on the back foot. Oh, big engagement up top. A couple of those Widow Mines go down before they can fire. The Thor does drop. Hydras are going to take out one Thor. A few Banelings semi-connect, but not as much as he would have liked. And that's going to be a really good fight for Clem. Mutas finally clean this up. Good transfuses there. So Reynor at least simplifies things, but he's stuck on 4 bases. Does have a good force of Hydra Bane. Still no Groove Spines on the way, and Reynor and missed Hydra upgrades are kind of a meme at this point. Good hold position to separate that Zergling from the army. I'm really hoping he remembers the Hydra upgrade. I just don't imagine, with everything that's going on, he's got to manage so much. He's trying to re-expand to the south. He's got to try to respread creep everywhere. I don't think you can remember that upgrade with everything that's happening in this game. And well, he's making Lurkers. They'll definitely stall out the advance of Terran. I do like the choice to transition away from what he was going for. Borrowed Banelings! Oh, tasteless! He's got borrowed Banelings! Oh my god, let's go, let's go, let's go! Pretty good shot. Oh, he gets 2! 2 pairs of borrowed Banelings. Each of them hitting about 10 Marines. Very nicely done. Lurkers trying to defend. Remember, these are not 10 range Lurkers. He needs support! Oh, he leaves them unsupported for a few seconds. A lot of them go down, but at the same time, Terran overcommits here. Oh, but he saves the Thors. Such expensive units. The Lingbane trying to chase those Marauders down. On the left side, it looks like the Mutiling Hydra did defend this base from that double drop. Took down the double drop. Reynor. Dude, Reynor's actually back in this. He's only on 4 bases, though, and his creep sucks. So Reynor needs to take a breath, respread creep on the left and the right and the middle, and build more Lurkers and keep upgrading. And he's doing that on a very tight gas budget, right? He's on 6 gases, or I guess 8 gases now. Needs to get this other gas mining. He's thinking about building a Nidus one. I think that's way down the priority list. I don't think he can kill before Ghosts in this game. And that's going to delay his +3 carapace significantly. Mutas are going for a bit of a counterattack. Interesting choice there. Does mean the drop harass could be much more problematic, but at least it gives him an idea of what his Terran opponent is up to. The Ling's trying to stop these Widow Mines from getting burrowed in the ground. Mutalisks, one of them does get sniped, and that, of course, notifies him of the Terran Ghost transition. Jeez, Clem just microing this drop so much. Clem's well on his way to Ghosts. He's up to 73 workers, so he's given up on trying to kill Reynor in the mid-game. I think he's accepting that he's going to have to play late game here. Oh, look at that. The moment Reynor pulls away, drops the Widow Mines. Mutalisks will go down in this main, or at least a few of them will. Things are going to surround the planetary. Not enough SCVs to save that. I think he should be able to get it. Meanwhile, Lingbane Hydra Lurker, great push angle. Oh, there's not many Ghosts yet. Lurker's getting into a good position, could be really nice here. Clem stims on it. That's kind of a crazy choice. There's a lot of Lurker splash, but wow, he might just have enough to pass through. Gosh, Terran pieces are really good, guys. I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding. He just had the numbers. There wasn't that many Lurkers. They only had 1-2 upgrades against 3-3 as well. And there was just enough of an arc with the units on the low ground that the Lurker firepower was damaging everything. It wasn't really killing anything. And that is the way that goes. Groove Spines finally does get remembered, as well as Frenzy for his Hydras. I feel like Libs aren't too far away. A few Hydras is not bad. I don't think you want to go too many. Still on just 4 bases. Clem's going to take a 5th on the south and try to like push on that angle, which I think makes a lot of sense. Notice how the creep never reset. Like Reynor hasn't calmed down from the early game and spread any creep on this bottom side. Understandable, but it's going to cost him. Oh, a few of the Widow Mines get targeted before they could fire. But does take a few big Widow Mine smears despite that. Lurkinitis is going in. Oh, Reynor takes a big Widow Mine there. He's taken out a few of these Ghosts. I think he's happy to take this trade because it's distracting Clem. But he's got to pull these units back now. Nidus is going to get up. Lurkers are going to try and pop this a lot of bio. Oh, Reynor has just enough to hold because the units are spread out here, and he will be able to hold on. Good defense for Reynor, for Clem, sorry. REYNOR kind of unloads into a concave of Marauder. It wasn't a big concave, but it was just enough. Just enough units there for CLEM coming up from the rally to defend. And now REYNOR's in a really bad spot. Like I said, he hasn't really reset for the longer game at all. I do wish at this point where there's only 3 orbitals, we had a lurker run in there, a lurker run in here, a lurker run in this top side. I think if he does this a bit more, like it's very hard for CLEM to have enough scans. Like right now he's got 1 scan available, yeah? Across his 3 orbitals. And this is what I'm talking about, is the one thing that people aren't taking advantage of when they go early lurkers against CLEM is trying to actually exhaust his scans. I think it's a winning strategy that's just been forgotten about. He lost to it a lot about 2-3 years ago, and since then no one's really been doing it. They haven't been testing him on that. Midas Swim again in the back door. Does get shut down. Bio Squad here gets shut down. Overlord speed's on the way. A few more Zerglings. Only +1 melee is really bad for Zerg as well. REYNOR really needs to finish those upgrades, but he's not even maxed right now. It's hard for him to keep up. Oh, he pops up from behind. Lands a good fungal, but there's not that many juicy targets here to begin with. The ghost stopping a snipe is legitimately insane. The fact that he stood to get a wave of snipes off was crazy. But, oh, and then the Hydras on the retreat get sniped as well. I think it was good enough, though. It was a little bit wild that he stopped in front of that army to do that, but with no Banelings anymore, REYNOR's army is just way too small. And CLEM is going to show us there is a strategy to counter 2-base Muta on this map. I don't know how it would have worked versus 3-base Muta. I don't think it would have been too effective, but really well played by CLEM. I think the opening build choice was huge. And I was wondering, like, why are you not vetoing this map? And I was actually saying before the game started as well, before we went on break, I was like, dude, if he doesn't play 2-on-1 off of the 3rd command center, I think he might actually, like, that's actually a dumb decision, because there's no other build that's like one size fits all enough to deal with REYNOR's BS. The fact that he did that and added the Hellbats is what put him in such a good position in this game, and now he's up about 50 supply. EMP's the Infestor as well. He didn't even know exactly where the Infestor was. He was out of scans, but he could see kind of the dirt, the little trail that it was leaving. There is like a slight visual marker of seeing where burrowed Infestors are. He does deal with it. Yeah. He's still low on scans, but there's just no Banes here. REYNOR's army can't beat this. You know, it's just a brawl of who's got more muscle, who's got more brawn. With all that medevac healing, Ghost rallying in with 125 hit points, there's nothing. These Hydras trying to put up a fight. But if that 5th base goes down, REYNOR's gonna have to tap out. GG, well played. What a different game this would have been if REYNOR was a little bit quicker to react by sending his Lings across the map. Because remember, guys, this is about 4:30, 4:40, I think, when his Overseer went through. Maybe closer to, yeah, about 4:40. So 4:50, he sees the armory. Should be sending these Lings immediately around the map up here. Don't get me wrong, I understand you're not always going to remember to do it straight away. But he takes about 30 seconds, 25 seconds to send those Lings across. And this Warloff's wide open. If those Lings get in, CLEM is getting less Hellbats in the fight. His Marines and Hellbats are getting surrounded. He's losing a ton of SCVs. Instead, REYNOR just clicks there. The command center sees it. And look at this. CLEM is both stimming in, kills the Spinecrawler just before it finishes. And he pops off that depot, builds the eBay. Clutch reaction for CLEM while microing the attack. But really unfortunate for REYNOR. The fact that the Overseer Scouted Sword was coming was really big. But if we want to be even more critical, he could have given himself more time. So remember, you can actually build the Spire and then immediately make it with the next 50 gas. That Overseer at about 422. He actually made it 2 seconds later. Never mind. I thought there was about a 10-20 second delay on that. He actually made the Overseer right after the Spire. So I take back that criticism. GG, well played though. CLEM ties up the series. They've both won the other player's map pick. That's awesome. This is going to be a good series. Oh, right. CLEM wins his opponent's map pick, gets it back on White Rabbit, a map which is, I think, a little Terran favored. That being said, REYNOR has dumpstered CLEM on this map before. I have a distinct memory of REYNOR losing to CLEM on Mothership with Mutas and then destroying him with Mutalisks on this map a few weeks ago. So see if he can pull that off again. I might go Mutas again. I don't think this is a terrible Hydra map. It's not a terrible Ling Infestor map. I think White Rabbit's okay in general. It's just like, yes, there's a scary area in the middle. There are some nasty ledges on the sides where Terran can push you from. But I don't know. I think REYNOR, I think what's... Okay, I'm realizing it in real time. I think the reason White Rabbit is quite a good map for REYNOR is there's a lot of wide open spaces. And like, I think it's bad for Solar because he doesn't have good creep spread and he doesn't focus on his creep spread that much. But REYNOR's creep spread is such a big strong point. And the bigger and more wide open a map is, it doesn't matter if there's some choke points everywhere. He's going to get so much more early warning of enemy pushes. He's going to have more ability to rotate his counters and swing those in. I think White Rabbit's a pretty good map because his creep spread's amazing. Pig, you talked a lot about what REYNOR did well. What did CLEM do so well? Was it just his build order? I think, so I was answering this in between the break, but for those guys watching on YouTube, basically, CLEM's build order was sick. He blocked his third, which just screwed REYNOR over. REYNOR should have treated that map like Winter Madness, like I was saying, and not give CLEM a chance to block. But CLEM pretty much always looks to block the third, but he just, you know, it was especially effective on that map. Pushed REYNOR into doing a 2-base muta build. And then he kind of knew ahead of time, you're going to play this. So I'm planning to play 3cc 2-on-1, which is already safe against mutas, so you don't find any early damage. And then adding the Hellbats is just huge because a guy who's already delayed his third to build 4 queens hasn't really rushed his lair that fast. It's like, is REYNOR really going to want to build Banelings and 6 queens before going mutas while stuck on 2-base? No, of course not. Like, he wants to be a little bit greedy on something. So going for the Hellbats plus Stim Marines, it's a really slick timing. And even though it got scouted, REYNOR didn't quite have the time to prepare. I think REYNOR would have been okay, like I said, if those Lings actually counterattacked. But it is what it is. Once again, no third base. This map, you could go for either third, but interesting that REYNOR's kind of letting him block the third base. I think he'll still take it pretty soon, right? He's gone only 3 queen. Still wants to go creep tumor as early as possible. SCV, of course, still blocking the right side. Reaper ready to block the left if a drone goes that way. Third base on the left is a bit awkward. Spread pretty far away. And this is a double gas. Ooh, aggro opening for CLEM. He's going to try and run early Hellions in here. Reaper's going to go have a little poke into the main. Sees that Ling speed's on the way. Should be able to jump down this ledge on the left. Meanwhile, SCV and drone are going to start their little war over here. Drill starts biting the SCV on the butt. Oh, the queen just got the Reaper by the way, guys. Sorry, the reason I was staring at this is I was just imagining the drone kind of slapping the SCV on the butt and just like the whole time. And he's like, hey, honey. Like, I don't know. When I see the drone attack the SCV like that, it's running around. I just imagine like a kind of old school, rather sexist gentleman thinks it's cool to slap the server on the butt. Uncool behavior, Mr. Drone. Big Ling run by. 1 Marine, 2 Hellions about 10 seconds from popping. This could be massive. This could be absolutely massive. Is he going to get up the ramp? Yes, he is. He's in. Uh-oh. CLEM's in trouble. He's got to do big damage, but there's a few Zerglings here. 1 Hellion's already gone down. Can he micro that and his SCVs at the same time? The Zerglings in the main do get taken out. These Hellions, dude, his micro is so good. CLEM's multitasking is unreal. He's still taking massive damage, but the Lib is really helping him defend here. Looks like 13, 14 SCVs go down. How does he still have 3 Hellions alive? What the hell? You're not meant to be able to keep those Hellions alive in this situation while defending that well. I mean, it's still great for REYNOR. Like anyone else, it's almost checkmate. They lose 20 workers or more, and their Hellions kill like one or 2 drones. That's so impressive. CLEM's so good. I love this though. Small Ling run by. Problem is he doesn't have any more Lings at home. He needs to build more Lings right now, where these Hellions could dive in and do big damage, but I think these Zerglings... Oh, is it even enough to beat the Marines? The Marines might be okay if they stutter step and get the SCVs pulled quickly enough, but they don't. Ah, Hellions pop though. Hellions pop, which means they're not going to do damage. These Hellions get pushed back. Liberator does get deflected by those 2 queens. Good queen split here for REYNOR. REYNOR's building a Roach Horn, second Evo, 8 drones. I don't know if he can afford the second Evo. Oh, it was just to block their Hellions running in. Smart. Like we were saying, he didn't have enough units to defend if the Hellions dove in. So we built an Evo chamber to stop them having that chance. Dude, this Lib's doing good damage. That's actually really good damage. Good transfuses. Does lose one of those queens. That's okay to get rid of the Liberator. Oh, the Zergling block is massive. Beautiful spready there for REYNOR. Oh, that was so well played, dude. The Hellions are going to do some good damage. I don't think the Lynx should chase here, but it's going to see if he can take care of these bad boys. Oh, they're so low. Raynor wants them so bad, man. He's like, die! Die! CLEM Hellions! Oh my gosh. I didn't realize there was cats driving those Hellions because they have 9 lives. What the hell, man? CLEM's a freak. Why doesn't he upgrade Blue Flame? Because you need to put a factory on a tech lab to do that. So you can't make Blue Flame while also having 2 Hellions building at a time. So you only go Blue Flame if you have multiple factories, and you can do that. But only works for mech, or if you go for the 2 factory and then you hide like 10, 12 Hellions, and then you suddenly come out on the map with 12 Hellions all at once and drive in and try to get a lot of damage. Maru will still use that build occasionally. You don't normally see CLEM use that build. Very occasionally, he'll mix it in. 1-1 upgrades, 3 barracks, medevacs, marines, and it should be mines mixed in as well. Reynor goes for a 4th base. He's gone range instead of carapace. Oh, it's because he went +1 carapace already. So he's just waiting for 225 gas to start +2. I do think he should do that. I know he's building a few roaches for safety right now, is Reynor, because he's not sure when the medevac marine's coming, and that is pretty soon. But that +2 carapace starting is essential because he's got such a big upgrade lead, but it's slipping away every second that goes with +1 of Terran pumping away. He could just do a +1 roach all in, but I think this gives up one of his big advantages. 1-1 roach, not a bad all in. Yeah, Hellbats ain't going to do anything with this. Which does CLEM not know it's roaches? He did see the roach warren. I don't think he should be morphing Hellbats here. I think the Hellions should be maybe doing a run by at the same time. This is... Yeah, there's plenty of roach queen. Maybe he was just hoping there wouldn't be many roaches and queens. He's going to push in anyway because his name is CLEM, and running away is antithetical to his life philosophy. His philosophy is always charge the enemy no matter what. Like I said, CLEM would be a perfect old school cavalry commander. Like, you know, they're like, sir, they dug a trench, filled it with spikes, and they've all got like 3-meter long pikes in a tight formation, and they're well drilled to hold formation. He's like, what do we do, sir? Clem's just like, charge! The peasants can't hold up against our superior breeding, but we are royalty. Unfortunately, that doesn't help you when you have no units at home. He didn't even swap the factory to a tech lab, guys. Sorry. I didn't even think that. I thought this was more of a poke. I thought the main attack was still a minute out. It turns out there was a bunch of Ravagers here. He didn't even have to wait for the Ravagers. Just 63 drone, 1-1 roach all in. And what's he got? A handful of 1-1 Marines, no tanks. GG, dude. I mean, I don't think there was any way CLEM defends this with the style that he went for. Like, the armory's not going to really help him out here. What could he have done differently? Don't commit as much to the aggression, maybe, and definitely just be building tanks earlier. Ideally, he needed to already have at least 1 tank on the high ground, and he needed to just abandon the 3rd temporarily, turtle on 2 base, build multiple tanks, put them far back. Obviously, not having any Banshees is a problem, but if you just look at the overall units lost tab, if you're this far behind in the trading, this is not a good game for you. He took big damage early to the Zerglings, and then his follow-up Hellion run-bys were blocked by an Evo chamber and then surrounded by Zerglings. The Liberator didn't really find any significant damage. He was too far behind. GG, well played. All right, guys. CLEM in the top left side of the map. He's down 1-2. Now on Winter Madness. The double gas build. I really want to see Zerg stop deflecting that build so well. But you know, he's still mixing it in once or twice in a series against Reynor, but Reynor's been really good at shutting it down. And the fact that not only were you committing to a 2 command center aggressive build, but also the fact that Reynor's Ling Flood ruined you in the early game, turned it into a super death match. Hatcheries there coming up on the natty. Barracks and gas coming in as well. I think what I want to see for Reynor here is probably that quick 3rd hatchery, 27 supply before the Overlord. I'm always surprised CLEM doesn't go to block it earlier, though. I feel like if CLEM goes and blocks this earlier, and then just plays a normal build order. Just, you know, REYNOR has to defend this kind of dodgy third on that side. I think that's a good choice for him. REYNOR on the other side, I think build this even earlier than 27 supply if CLEM ever starts doing that sort of reaction. All right, Reaper's on the way, Orbital as well. As always, sends an SCV across. And this is like, CLEM likes this so much because, number one, you can't go pool first or early pool or anything because he's always going to scout it with the SCV. He's not waiting for the Reaper to scout, which is too late to defend this command center. But yeah, he also gets to block your third and mess your build up. Now, REYNOR needs to pull a worker out already if he wants to get there before that guy sees him. So SCV's going to see him head in that direction. Which means no third base for REYNOR, guys. No, he's pulled 2 off. I think he just goes directly to the left. And then if the SCV follows him, he sends another one to the right. Good call. I think this is a silly move for CLEM. I think that's such an easy bait for REYNOR. And then REYNOR's like, lol, idiot. Thanks. I think like this is actually a mistake CLEM's made multiple times in recent series. It's like, do you really? Why are you blocking the bad base? Like, you want REYNOR to take the bad base. Instead, by following that SCV, he lets him take the good base. I think this is a silly choice for CLEM, and it's something that lets REYNOR off the hook. What would have been a very frustrating opening if he had to take the other third base. Not saying he can't win with that third, it's just gets much worse for Zerg, much harder. Forces him to walk more of a tightrope, more danger, more chance of taking big damage to Hellions. Factory comes up, 3cc, Factory. Do we see a second gas on the natural? Should be going down very soon. He goes 2 Hellions straight away. I think this is a 2-1-1. Because normally you'd speed up the second gas and starport. It looks like he's just going to go second barracks. Oh, what? Oh, he's 8-raxing. Okay, Clem's going to go 8 racks all in. He's going double upgrades before second and third barracks. I think he's actually going to go 3 barracks after this. This is a Maru build order. Even Clem, I think many would say, is much higher level of consistency than Maru these days. Even he respects Daddy Maru. Maru's got the builds, man. That's going to be an insanely fast 1-1. Probably just 4 Hellions, then he swaps this factory off, I think. +1 armor begins as well. Meanwhile, REYNOR's droning up. He's injecting. He's got 2 more queens building, so 6 queens in total. Really good creep spread. Starting to drone his third base now. And yeah, just 4 Hellions, 1 Reaper, second barracks, and third barracks. Probably should have already built that on the reactor, but that's fine. You know what's interesting, guys? Pros don't like shift-clicking the SCVs back to buildings. They like to just grab the idle worker button, or control-click the idle worker button, and then send them to minerals, and just do that periodically with any idle workers. They've decided it's more efficient with their APM. I prefer to just do it ahead of time, old school habit. But I do get where they're coming from. I think they've figured some stuff out, the top Terrans. Hey Pig, is Estrella still playing? I think he's kind of off StarCraft at the moment. I think he just doesn't have as much passion right now. I do hope to see him back. But I think we haven't seen much of him. He's only played a few tournaments since EWC. He's kind of just hopped on, screwed around for a tournament. Had a little bit of fun here or there, but we haven't seen much of him. Hopefully he does come back to the game, because he is so awesome. Pig, how can I force myself to use camera locations? I'm still scrolling the screen. It's like someone asking me how to have discipline. I'm like, I don't know, just do the thing every day. Stop playing ladder, hop in custom games, and just practice it. This is just the classic, like, stop trying to win your ladder games. Focus, and when you do it on ladder, remember the win condition is not winning the game. It's use the new mechanic and build the muscle memory. Oh, REYNOR takes a dump on his third base. Delays that by a little bit. Would have liked him to hold position so it at least spread the creep a little bit longer. It's not really going to achieve much. That's more insult rather than injury. Yeah, you just got to... People always talk about this. They're like, oh, I can't stop pressing this or that. And it's like, you know, you can disable edge scrolling first of all, so it's not even an option. But go cold turkey and just focus on building new muscle memory habits. Yeah. It's like people, I think the analogy of why it's so stupid when people ask me this question all the time, just to give it real quickly before we talk more about the games, is it's like someone saying, oh man, I'm trying to learn piano, but every time I go to play a song, I realize like a few notes in that it sounds bad, so I just pick up my guitar and play that instead. So how do I force myself to play the guitar, Pig? And I'm like, stop swapping to the piano halfway through the song. Just keep playing the guitar. It'll sound like crap. It won't sound like music for a while. But once you do it enough, it'll be automatic. Just like accept the fact that you won't be perfect straight away. And people are like, oh, but I want it to sound like music immediately. Because it sounds like music when I play the piano. Why doesn't the guitar sound like music? And I'm just like, you're going to have to put a bit of practice in if you got to relearn how to play. Yeah. Camera locations are amazing if you can be bothered to learn them, but if you don't have any discipline or time to practice, you don't have to use them. They're not for everyone. All right, Hydras are out, guys. Carapace is here as well, but this is a very quick 2-2. I don't think REYNOR realizes what he's up against. I don't think he has any idea. Interestingly, though, there's no 8 barracks. There's a 2nd factory and a 4th command center. There's no 2-2 timing. Why is he playing like this? Oh, look, he's doing the medevac lib harass. CLEM uses the medevac as a spotter, guys. It has more vision than the lib, and it can move in and out to spot for it, now that libs don't have full vision. And this base on this map is actually broken. There's no space behind the minerals, so queens can't reach it. You literally cannot defend this mineral line from this move. Doesn't even need range. And this is why you don't build minerals flush with the edge of the map. Unfortunate issue. He started to abuse this against Protoss a lot. This is my first time seeing him abuse it against Zerg. For REYNOR, that's so infuriating, because now all he gets is gas on his 4th, doesn't get to mine minerals until he gets either a Spire or a Viper. He's making Lurkers, making quite a few Hydras. As Zerg, you're going to need to start taking the 4th on the left if you're not playing mutas on this map. Oh, big Widowmine smear. Nice 2-prong push. And the thing is, this is not all in, man. CLEM's just looking for value. He has forgotten his 3-3. There we go. It starts up now. Dude, he's got such a big upgrade lead. 2-2 versus +1 armor only right now. And he's going to float a 4th out. CLEM is like speed ran his upgrades. It's looking really nice. Looks like a few more drones rallied in and died to that lib. This is so frustrating for REYNOR. The Liberator is one of those really problematic units because it does have insane range for such an easily accessible unit. It's kind of like a Broodlord or something in terms of its like ranged firepower, but it's so easy to get on that tech tree. That's why it's one of those units that's made map making really hard ever since it was introduced. Oh, good transfuses. Good transfuses! Oh my gosh! I can't believe CLEM man-moded his way through that. Got rid of a few of the lurkers there. I think it was 2? 3 lurkers went down. So many transfuses. Okay. I love that REYNOR's mixed up his style here. Going kind of like Hydra, Lurkerling, Corruptor, but it is a bit of a weird style to play against Aaron. He doesn't have any Hydra upgrades either, like no groove spines or anything. I don't know if I'm the biggest fan. He's got 15 lurkers though, and there are only 3 orbitals on the map. So once again, remember what I said. If he spreads lurkers out and goes and harasses every base, I think it's a free win. I don't think a guy with 3 orbitals can deal with 15 lurkers this early. He just doesn't have enough scans. But you got to spread them all over the map, and you got to start hitting his bases with one at a time. Oh, good Ling engagement. Right side, though, the lurkers don't quite have range. Dude, CLEM is pushing through lurkers with Marine Mine. This is an illegal maneuver. You're not meant to be able to do this, but he's hitting seconds before the range upgrade finishes. What in the heck? Oh my god, you sick puppy. Gets rid of the hatchery, gets 9 drones. The lurkers now have range, but CLEM, that is illegal. That is so cheating. You're not meant to be able to push through lurkers with Marine Mine. He's breaking all the rules again. No concussive shells for CLEM just yet. Doesn't really need it against lurkers. More for dealing with the Zerglings. Oh, finally! Finally, the 11 kill Liberator gets abducted. And Reynor's 4th base, which is now dead, can resume mining. Oh, no. Fusion Core, double command center, mass lib, bio coming in. 3-3's about to kick in as well. Clem is mauling Reynor right now. Really odd style Reynor played this game, but I just think that 4th base just undid it. Whatever his plans were, they just got ruined by that 4th base Liberator coming in. I guess if you do take this 4th, you just need to make sure you get like 2 spores on the edge and never let a Liberator cross over into that area. Easier said than done. Good parasitic bomb on the triple lib. Oh, the quad lib even. Good damage, but a quick unsiege. Clem is so quick at realizing which one's been hit. Lurkers jump on top. Hydra's trying to take care of it. Remember, the Hydras don't have any upgrades. They all die. And now the scan comes down. The Lurkers are going to shove forward to chase away the bio. The 3 Hydras, if they get focused... Dude, those libs just did so much damage. Units lost tab 5,000 in favor of Clem. Reynor survives on 4 bases against a Terran, who is now building mass command center. Ghosts is ahead. Triple upgrades. There's no melee upgrades in the game. All you can do is build a Hydra Lurker. Lings are just there to tank and nothing else. I think Reynor's dead in the water. He really doesn't have any options. He doesn't have a lot of mobility, a lot of play that he can make here. Do you guys like Reynor's build here? I really am curious. I think I'm going to rewind the replay at the end and analyze it a bit more, because I'm wondering what his plan was if he didn't get so disrupted by that lib. Feels really weird seeing Ling Hydra Lurker against Terran. Ooh, nice parasitic bomb. Lurker's running across the map right now. Ling Hydra trying to engage. Green Marauder Ghost Lib trying to do what they can. He's got to give this base up. There's too many libs. Doesn't have enough abducts for it. The libs are just sieging him up now. Doesn't even have advanced ballistics. Doesn't need it. Lurker's finally going for a counterattack, but I think this is something that you need to do with individual Lurkers really frequently. An individual Lurker is not that expensive a unit. I think it's 150 gas, 200 minerals. And if you're baiting scans for each one and the like, it's actually really nice. It's going to do some good damage on the counter. It's going to be a little annoying here for Clem to deal with, but he lifts the command center, starts sniping these guys. A few Hellbats walk back to their death. Lib's still denying the 4th base. 19 workers go down. I think it's on the Libs to clean this up. The Ghosts... Dude, Ghosts actually take so many Lurker hits to kill now because they're not armored units as well. So you can see it actually takes a while, even for Ghosts to go down now. Especially when he micros them the way Clem does. A few more scans dropping. He's got enough orbitals now. You can see now he's on 6 orbitals. And even then, it's hard to clean this up. Imagine. I think I'm going to message Reynor immediately when this game ends and go, bro, dude, if you actually send a Lurker here, a Lurker here, a Lurker here, pepper 1 or 2 across the map as well, so Clem can't even move across the map, he's going to be so screwed when he's making that transition. 3 orbital Terran just can't deal with that. The Hydras don't have any upgrades, guys. They get overrun. And Clem ties up the series 2-2. Alright guys, game 5 to decide it all. Reynor in the top right side of the map, Clem in the bottom left. It's Tourmaline. Clem back in the series there. Dude, that was a funky idea. I've DM'd Reynor to ask him, like, what was the plan, just turtle? And I also sent him a whole essay about why I think individual Lurkers everywhere are a huge thing that should be used. And the thing is, like, it's not good against other players. Because other players actually build siege tanks when they see you playing Lurker or Hydraling Bane or fast Lurker styles. But Clem's like the one Terran who refuses to build siege tanks pretty much no matter what. He might build like a couple early on, but he late game he hates building tanks because he feels he gets too immobile. He doesn't like turtling, right? He wants to be a bit more active. But yeah, because of that, I mean, if you know he's going to not have any defensive tanks, those individual Lurkers are really good. The problem with the individual Lurker harass, if they've got tanks, is like often you run in on their 3rd and there's a tank just sitting there and it just beats the Lurker, and you run in the 4th and another tank just moves over and sieges it. It's kind of trivial for the Terran to deal with, even though it can still be effective in those scenarios. It's just a bit easier, but it's also their frontal pushes are much scarier if you don't have all your Lurkers together because the tanks can kind of push through them. Yeah, Clem's a bio boy. Bio mine. He'll add ghosts, he'll add libs, but he does not want that immobility of the siege tank. Feels his army gets a bit too lethargic, a bit too slow, can't be the one dictating the pace as well. This map, I think either third base is perfectly fine, so I don't think REYNOR needs to worry about any block. He's not pulling off gas. Maybe a bit worried about 2-Rex Reaper here. Interesting. I think this SCV tells you it's not 2-Rex Reaper though, right? So he pulls 2 off gas a little bit later than I would have expected. And he sends 2 drones out, one to the right, one to the left. And he says, yeah, that's fine. You're going to block the right side? No worries. Actually, he goes to the middle. Ah, this third base. Wow, okay. Upside, spread creep to the middle early. Downside, it's really friggin' exposed. It's kind of out in the middle of nowhere. I never know how I feel about this. REYNOR does like taking forward hatcheries. It's kind of been one of his trademark moves for many years. Oh, that's a dead tumor. Too greedy. REYNOR's been going for a lot of greedy tumors recently. I'm impressed that CLEM managed to click on it because the queen... He would have needed to scroll his screen up like this to click on the tumor. The reason being, because the angle we're looking at, you'll notice the top of the queen blocks you clicking anything placed behind it. If I try to click here on a tumor, it'll actually click on the queen. Especially depending on the direction she's facing, because her tail sticks out a lot, as well as her, like, head tentacles. I kid you not, I'm not joking, this is actually a thing. So you need to scroll up so it's at the bottom of your screen, so you can actually click things that are directly above the queen. And that's a very impressive knowledge of little details for CLEM that allowed him to do that. Of course, the grenade helps by moving the queen out of the way as well. Reaper's going to dodge. Hellions moving in right now. That third looking very exposed. But of course, no drones on it, so it's fine. Going to build a bunch of Zerglings. Ling speed's going to be kicking in nice and fast. It's a 3cc 2-on-1 build. Clem says it's stable, it's strong. Let's do it. But you got to be careful of Ling floods when you do that build. And actually... Whoa! REYNOR's gone Roach Warren. Surely this is not a Ravager Ling, is it? He doesn't have a second gas. It can't be. But it might be a Ling... He might do a Ling counterattack as the 2-1-1 moves out. So if Clem doesn't seal his wall off, maybe Clem could get some damage with that. I don't know. It's going to be an interesting setup. Hellions diving around. Oh, deep on creep. Shouldn't be any escape for them, but of course, as always, Clem's Hellions come pre-lubricated. Always slipping away. 5 roaches as well. 5 roaches, 15 Zerglings off 38 workers. I mean, this is a pretty minimal commitment. And he's droning hard behind it, so he is going to go for a Roach Ravager Zergling attack. I don't know if he makes Ravagers or not with it. Maybe doesn't even bother. But he will get the depots. For sure. And he will keep the Marines at home for a bit. Does REYNOR know he's up against the 2-on-1? I don't think so. His Overlord moves back to the pillar. Lair's starting behind it. I mean, his upgrade's going to be pretty delayed. His Evo Chamber, of course, but... Does he morph another Ravager? It's 5 Roaches. 1 Roach arriving right now. The Lings are still at home in case the Hellions counterattack. It's a bit of a crazy kind of poke here. It's I'm going to pressure you with a handful of Roaches, and that's it. That's a lot of Stim Marines. At least now he knows what's happening. He's got to run away. Right? There's no way. He doesn't even get the depots. He gets an SCV. Oh, God. Oh, God. REYNOR's overcommitted. REYNOR's overcommitted, guys. But wait, the Lings are going to run around and run into the base. That's a crazy way of doing this. The Roaches trying to get away from the Stim Marines. Hellions able to do what they can. The Lings are going to try and focus down whatever's most exposed. The Zerglings do all fall. A few of the Roaches go down as well. Luckily, though, a few SCVs sniped on this base. And that's a total of 4 workers down. REYNOR's droned hard enough behind it. I would say his position isn't desperate, but with 1-1 upgrades starting up and no upgrades for REYNOR, he's in a scary position. Tanks are building. Clem feels like having a modicum of safety today, and especially after seeing Roaches, that makes a lot of sense. Remember, he did die to a 1-1 Roach timing on White Rabbit. Got to keep his eyes up about that. Carapace starts not too far behind +1, to be fair. 4th hatchery on the right, on the left side. Okay, this is so interesting. 4th hatchery goes up there. Okay, this is so interesting because REYNOR's on 70 workers. He's building Roach Link, but he doesn't have a second Evo. No infestation. This is another Overlord. This has been, I feel like, a pretty good start for Clem. Then again, units lost tab is not that crazy. He's building a bunker on his 3rd. Clem is worried about the potential for an early all-in. The bunker doesn't really protect these tanks. I feel like the bunker should be out here, and your tanks should be here and here. You know what I mean? Because it's all about protecting your tanks against a roach all-in. But it's actually an infestation pit. Okay, so Reynor's just going to macro off this. Cool. But why only single Evo, though? Oh, I don't know. It feels like his gas count's a bit too low, yeah? A few more roaches building. Roach speed and carapace coming in. I'm a little confused by Clem's build order. Oh, Lings ran in, got 2 SCVs. Very well played. 4th command center goes down. Non-stop tank production. Clem's playing very safe in game 5. He's actually building tanks non-stop, seeing that there is a hefty roach commitment. More roaches and Lings building. Reynor's just sitting on 68 workers. Is he going to go for an all-in? And if so, I mean, he's done a good job of making it look like a macro build. He's got good creep. He's rotating. He's making ravages. He's sending like half of his army down the right side. If these tanks get caught out, not being protected by the bio, then that could be really good. But Reynor's going Hive, and I just feel like Reynor's whole build is a bit awkward right now. It's like he's waiting for Clem to misstep and move out of position. This game, crap's about to hit the fan. Crap is 100% about to hit the fan. He's leaving just a small squad of units at home. Everything else is diving. Most of Clem's army's on the other side of the map. The tanks are exposed. If he can get rid of the tanks, this is huge for Reynor. It's a +1 carapace roach ravager all in. He's going to take down 1 of the tanks, 2 of the tanks. The 3rd and 4th tank will go down simultaneously. And at the same time, the counter drop comes in, but he's got Roachling Queen. He's just been massing army off 68 workers. Clem was so focused on running in on the flanks that he did not protect those siege tanks. And he did not realize there was no workers on this 4th. Reynor made it look like a macro game by just chilling and lulled Clem into a false sense of security. He split his army up to hide his numbers. He avoided getting spotted. And then when he saw Clem committing to both flanks, he grouped his whole army, shoved down the middle, and Clem is going to feel cheated by this. Reynor, remember, this is the grand finals. Reynor does have to win this and another series in order to close it out, but it looks like he's going to activate that final best of 3 here. Dude, Reynor just tricked him. Clem feels so cheated. He totally thought this was going to be a normal game. There was even an infestation pit and a hive in case he scanned for it. But there was no commitment to actually using those things. The roaches and ravagers overwhelming. There's no tanks. Without tanks, you can't defend this army, man. Even without +1 range, you really don't need it. It's carapace that's the important upgrade. Oh, the bio numbers trying to get in there. It's just his worker count so low behind it. So even if he barely hangs on here, look at this, more ravagers on the front line. There will be more biles, no doubt, spreading across. And Clem just can't hold on. That's crazy. You guys have to realize, I think I painted a picture of it, but Reynor had like such a crap position if this game goes longer. If Clem just stays at home, defends, it's just, there's no follow-up. You've only got 1 Evo chamber, so you're way behind on upgrades. Your hive, don't have any infestors. Yes, your hive's coming in, but what are you even going to do with it? You're on 68 drone Roachling. It is hot garbage. But if those tanks go down, suddenly it's not so hot, is it? And you can just see Clem did a good job of like moving around, and he just didn't realize. I don't think he scanned for the hive either. Yeah, the hive actually did get canceled, by the way. Clem didn't even scan for it. I think he was hoping Clem would scan for the hive. Dude. And then he's just like, oh, what the hell? But he had the forward base. He had that creep going out in the middle really early. And Clem, he just left himself open to this one particular move. And Reynor tricked him really good. GG, well played. Nicely done.